Welcome to LFC Transfer HQ, your ultimate source for all things Liverpool FC transfers. Like and subscribe for more football updates. Our first news is Sky reporter makes fresh Alexander Isak claim as Liverpool expected to move quickly for Ekitike. Alexander Isak and Hugo Ekitike have been the two dominant names in the Liverpool rumour mill this week. On Tuesday, David Ornstein reported that the Reds had made an official approach to Newcastle for the Swedish striker, although there hasn't been a formal offer from Anfield for the 25-year-old. Fast forward 48 hours, and Florian Plettenberg claimed that the Premier League champions have submitted an official written bid for the Eintracht Frankfurt marksman, who coincidentally was the subject of an unsuccessful offer from the Magpies 3 days ago. Liverpool appear to be pushing ahead with their interest in Ekitike, but it remains to be seen what that might mean for their simultaneous coveting of Isak. Sky reporter: Liverpool will give up on Isak if they sign Ekitike. Sky Sports Northeast reporter Keith Downey has indicated that, should the Reds sign the French forward, they'll discontinue their pursuit of his Newcastle counterpart. He outlined this afternoon, via X, Hugo Ekitike wants to join Liverpool. The striker has agreed in principle to the move if a deal can be struck between the clubs, and Liverpool have indicated to Eintracht Frankfurt that they are ready to make an official offer. Talks are progressing and things are expected to move quickly. Frankfurt value Ekitike at £85 million. Newcastle had a £70 million offer for him turned down on Monday and are unlikely to go back in. If Ekitike moves to Liverpool, they will give up their pursuit of Newcastle's Alexander Isak. Liverpool could well sign either Ekitike or Isak, but probably not both. If the Reds are to meet the Bundesliga club's asking price for the 23-year-old, that'd take their summer spending beyond the £250 million mark. Even with the Merseysiders being in a very healthy position regarding PSR and potentially raising funds from player sales, it'd seem highly unlikely that they'd sign Ekitike and then stump up another £120 million or more on Isak. Although the Newcastle striker outscored his Eintracht Frankfurt counterpart last season by 27 goals to 22 despite playing 320 fewer minutes, the Frenchman would be far more than just a consolation prize if LFC are to sign him this summer. As per FBref, the 23-year-old outperformed the Swede in 2024-25 with his tallies for key passes, 44 to 41, pass completion, 75.5% to 75.3%, progressive carries, 633 to 615, and aerial duel success, 46.8% to 32.1%, along with his 90-minute averages for shots on target, 1.55 to 1.34, and shot-creating actions, 3.55 to 3.01. Isak may be the more clinical of the two, but Ekitike is evidently adept at getting involved in the game and creating chances as well as finishing them. Don't miss subscribe for more LFC Transfer HQ news. Our second news is Real Madrid SET stars valuation ahead of possible Liverpool deal. Real Madrid are positioning themselves for a deal with Liverpool. They've now set a valuation should a deal go ahead. Real Madrid and Liverpool can't escape one another. The pair of clubs are constantly moving in similar directions, usually for transfer targets. Half of Real Madrid's team were firm targets for Liverpool at one stage or another. Unfortunately, players pick Los Blancos over pretty much anyone these days. And, of course, we saw a direct transfer between the two clubs this year. Trent Alexander-Arnold moved from Liverpool to Real Madrid, costing around £10 million for the final year of his contract at In Truth. That was a fantastic deal by Liverpool, even if they never wanted to lose Alexander-Arnold. £10 million for essentially nothing. But there are more deals to come. Liverpool like Rodrigo, for instance, as a replacement for Luis Diaz if the Colombian leaves this summer. And that's not the only deal. There could yet be a second transfer from Anfield to Madrid. Real Madrid SET Ibrahima Konate valuation. Mundo Deportivo claims Real Madrid value Ibrahima Konate at €30 million. That's comfortably below Liverpool's own valuation of around €50 million. We can pretty confidently say that Real Madrid will not make a deal happen at €30 million. Liverpool would much rather get a year out of Konate and hold on to the chance of renewing his contract than sell for that. For what it's worth, the report suggests Los Blancos aren't looking to sign another centre-back this summer. However, an initial valuation getting set is usually the first step towards deciding that actually, signing a new defender makes sense, especially after their poor showing at the FIFA Club World Cup where Paris Saint-Germain dramatically showed off the need for a new defender at Real Madrid. Konate would be pretty much ideal. He's got experience in the back three and a back four, as well as playing alongside Alexander-Arnold. But we feel Liverpool's valuation is tied to Marc Guéhi's at Crystal Palace. He's the likely replacement, given his contract, like Konate's, expires in a year. Palace want around €50 million for their defender. Liverpool would want the same in order to essentially pay nothing. That, after all, is how much they stand to sign Guéhi for next summer. Liverpool are set for a frantic transfer window as reports reveal fresh moves for Alexander Isak and Hugo Ekitike. The Reds are also reportedly eyeing a €90 million superstar after Ekitike, while Real Madrid have named their price for a potential target. Meanwhile, Cristiano Ronaldo's involvement stirs fresh drama in the Luis Diaz exit saga. All the major updates in one explosive roundup. Stay tuned for more updates on LFC Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more LFC Transfer HQ news. Our third news is Liverpool in talks to sign €90 million superstar after Hugo Ekitike. Liverpool are thundering towards the finish line for Hugo Ekitike, and multiple reports state an even bigger coup involving Real Madrid could follow. Liverpool quickly pivoted to Hugo Ekitike after Newcastle made it crystal clear Alexander Isak is not for sale. Newcastle had tabled a £70 million bid for Ekitike earlier this week but quickly exited the race upon learning Liverpool were steaming in. Two sources, Fabrice Hawkins and Ben Jacobs, have confirmed Liverpool have agreed personal terms with the Eintracht Frankfurt striker. A 6-year deal has been sealed. Liverpool's opening bid for Ekitike was rebuffed by Frankfurt, though an improved second bid is already being drafted and should be lodged very shortly. The Athletic's David Ornstein subsequently stated a package worth in excess of €80 million/£70 million is being worked on between the clubs. All trusted sources across the media are aligned in the claims Ekitike will wind up at Anfield. But according to the latest from AS and TalkSport, he could quickly be followed by an even more expensive signing. TalkSport brought news of Liverpool holding preliminary club-to-club talks with Real Madrid for the transfer of Rodrigo. The Brazilian, described as "want away" in the piece, is ready to leave the Spanish capital after being marginalized since the arrival of Kylian Mbappé 12 months ago. Rodrigo was often the odd man out last season when Carlo Ancelotti fielded an extra midfielder in his starting 11. New boss Xabi Alonso benched Rodrigo for 5 consecutive matches in the Club World Cup, with Mbappé and Vinicius Jr. his preferred options to spearhead the attack. Real Madrid are open to selling Rodrigo for a fee of around €90 million/£78 million. Arsenal have shown genuine interest, though their move for Noni Madueke has cast doubt on whether they'll add Rodrigo too. That leaves Liverpool in the driver's seat, and according to AS reporter, Edu Burgos, Liverpool's chances of sealing a deal are growing. It's genuine. Liverpool already held talks with his camp. They sent an emissary to Madrid to talk to his family, and Rodrigo is happy with the interest, Burgos told the Redmond TV. He's open to a move. He always liked the Premier League. 2 summers ago, even, Manchester City tried to sign him. Guardiola called him a few times. He appreciated the gesture, but in the end his preference was to stay in Madrid. His preference has now changed and now he's hoping to leave. I think he will leave because he wants to be the star of the team, and, at Real Madrid, it will be very, very difficult, almost impossible. I think it's not 50-50, it's maybe 70-30. He's open to a move, and I think Liverpool may make a move. What about Luis Diaz? The vast bulk of outlets and sources have suggested Liverpool will only finalize a move for Rodrigo if selling Luis Diaz. The Reds don't particularly want to sell the Colombian who with 25-goal contribution last year, is coming off the best season of his Liverpool career to date. However, Diaz has informed Liverpool of his desire for a fresh challenge and Bayern Munich are refusing to take Liverpool's initial no for an answer. Liverpool rejected a Bayern bid worth €67.5 million /£58.5 million earlier this week. Not to be deterred, Bayern are working in an elevated second bid. Explaining how the pieces fit together, TalkSport's chief transfer news reporter, Alex Crook wrote, "While Liverpool's briefing is that Diaz is not for sale, he is pushing for the move to Germany and Bayern are ready to make an improved offer. Liverpool know Bayern were willing to pay €100 million for Florian Wirtz, and if their bid gets anywhere near that figure, I believe they would cash in. If Diaz is sold, then Liverpool retain an interest in Anthony Gordon, having come close to signing the England winger from Newcastle last summer. Real Madrid's want-away Brazilian Rodrigo would also be an eye-catching Diaz replacement, and preliminary talks between the two clubs are believed to have taken place. Stay tuned for more updates on LFC Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more LFC Transfer HQ news. Our last news is Cristiano Ronaldo steps in as Luis Diaz transfer exit from Liverpool takes new twist. As Luis Diaz continues to be linked with a move away from Liverpool this summer, Cristiano Ronaldo is said to have waded into the transfer saga. Cristiano Ronaldo is said to have waded into the Luis Diaz transfer saga at Liverpool, with the Portuguese star pushing for him to make the move to Saudi Arabia. Diaz's future is a major talking point at Anfield this summer, with the Colombian having been linked with a move away for the past 12 months now. The speculation has gone up a gear this week though, with Bayern Munich having a $79 million bid turned down. Liverpool remains adamant that the winger is not for sale, although Diaz is said to have told the club he wants to leave after it became clear the Reds have no plans to extend his contract this summer. Diaz is claimed to be valued internally at around $117 million, with Bayern still a long way off that figure, while Barcelona also had an approach knocked back earlier this summer. Saudi Arabia could provide another option though, and Ronaldo might well play a big part if Diaz does make the move to the Middle East. According to Spanish outlet Sport, Ronaldo has personally asked his club Al Nassr to try and sign Diaz, believing that the 28-year-old could be the next big star to boost the profile of the Saudi Pro League. Al Nassr is also said to be the only club so far to have indicated it would be willing to meet Liverpool's valuation, which might work in its favor if the Reds are to make a U-turn on their stance. Diaz though has not shown any interest in leaving Europe thus far, with Barcelona having been touted as his preferred destination. The winger has already addressed the speculation linking him with Al Nassr. When questioned about the interest from Saudi Arabia recently, Diaz replied, "We're in the process of negotiations, talking with the club, with Liverpool, with everyone who's approaching us. But I'm very calm where I am, very happy. Trying to make the best decision now. We're there talking with the management, we're calm where I am. So nothing to say, we're talking about matters." Diaz might not be the only player leaving Liverpool this summer. Darwin Núñez has also been touted for an exit, although a move to Napoli looks to be off the table now. Nevertheless, the Uruguayan could soon be on the move as Liverpool steps up its pursuit of Hugo Ekitike, with a bid ready to be launched as personal terms look to have been agreed. Stay tuned for more updates on LFC Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more LFC Transfer HQ news. Thanks for watching. That's all for today's transfer update. But the transfer window never sleeps, and neither do we. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for the latest Liverpool FC transfer news, rumors, and confirmed deals. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update news.